Before adding features, you want to use the ribs to smooth out the surface on the outside of the bell. To smooth out the inside of the bell, spray it a little bit with water, and then press the surface with your hand to smooth it all out. When you're doing this, make sure that your hand is bracing the other side where you're pushing. First, you want to look at your rough draft. For the side of the fox, I'm going to make pinch pots, and I'm also going to make pinch pots for his ears. For his nose, I'm just going to apply a small amount of clay and carve out his mouth. For my fox's paws, I'm going to make slabs. And for his tail, I'm going to make pinch pots. For Miss Cap's cat, she's going to make 2 pinch pot ears, apply clay to the surface for features, carve out the eyes, and apply texture on the surface, also adding a tail for a clapper. I am making 2 pinch pots for my ears. When you first start, you want both of your spheres to be the same size. I'm using a pencil to hollow out the center of the ears. Because my clay is a little bit too thick, you have to hollow out any thick areas of clay. I'm pushing the eraser through the clay, being careful not to push it all the way through the end of the ear. When I like the shape of one ear, then I'm going to take the other sphere and continue making another pinch pot ear. Before making a slab, you want to get your canvas ready. Get a wooden tool and scrape all the extra clay off the canvas board. Get a rolling pin out of the cabinet to make your slab. When you're making your slab, you don't want to apply too much pressure on the clay. I also flip my slabs quite often, because that helps me make more of a consistent slab. You don't want one side of the slab to be too thin or one side to be too thick. I am using my slab to make the chest of my fox, but I need to know the size of the bell, so I've laid my bell down on the slab and traced around it. When drawing my design on the slab, I use a pencil. I am really careful not to push down too hard. That way, if I mess up, I can use my finger and just smooth out those areas to erase my mistakes. When you're happy with your design, you want to use a clay knife to cut out your slab. Make sure your knife is vertical or straight up and down and not at a diagonal when you're making your cuts. You can also mold different features with your hands. Just take the clay and shape it the way you'd like. Be sure that the clay is not too thick. Mrs. Caps is using a needle tool to score the surface of her clay. You must score your clay in order for it to stay after it dries. If you don't, it will crack. Also, when making pinch pots to attach, because there's an air pocket, you must make a hole where you're going to attach it. This hole will let the air escape once it's heated. Wherever you attach the part, you want to score both surfaces. You also want to apply a good amount of slip to that surface. Sometimes you may want to smooth out where you have attached it. To do this, get yourself a plastic tool or a wooden tool and just scrape the clay down where it's attached. You can also use your fingers to smooth it out. You can also use a comb for scoring. I use the bigger part of the comb and not the smaller part.